All right, and Judge Alyssa Perez resuming the civil docket for June 7, 2023. Mr. Marufo, who's our next case?
Bottom of page 2, Judge, in cause number 2023, DCV 0139, Bankers Healthcare Group LLC versus Don M. Briseño. Announcement of council, please.
Counsel Brett Osborne is here for the plaintiff.
Okay, Mr. Osborne, it looks like we filed this, so you filed this on April 27th. This is our first setting. Do we have some attempt at notice regarding this hearing? Do you have that in your file?
Yes, we would have mailed notice of the hearing to the defendant. I don't think that we filed any kind of affidavit of notice, but I can certainly do that.
If you will just attach it with, I may have received a proposed order. I don't know. We have a few defaults this morning. I'll go back into my emails.
Yeah, I believe we did submit one.
You did? Well, include the whatever you have in terms of service. If you can file it with the case, then ready to go. Let's proceed.
Okay, very good. I can do that. Do you want me to do that on paper submission, and then am I free to go?
No, actually, I just want you to present your motion for default. You can include that in there, but if you have some documentation, just go ahead and file it.
Okay, very good. So in the interest of time, we filed a motion for entry of default judgment, wherein we included an affidavit from the creditor indicating the balance due and confirming the allegations in the petition. This is on a written contract. It's a student loan case, and we've supplied also the verification of account for the judgment debtor and last known address, as well as the Civil Service Relief Act affidavit that they're not actively engaged in the military. There's a return of service on file with the court that I would like the court to take judicial notice of, and the relief being sought in the petition is for a judgment entry in the amount of $21,082.39, which is the principal amount due, plus then interest at the legal rate.
Anything else?
That is all.
Okay, the court will take judicial notice of the information stated. I am reviewing, I did review the motion and the proposed order. I will ask, since we're already transmitting a few things, Mr. Osborne, the style of the case has got some errors in it. So if you would correct the court information on there and resubmit it along with your information on the attempted service, just re-email it to us and judgment will be granted.
Very good. I will get that done, Judge. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Osborne.
Yep,
All right.
have a great day.
You too. Who's next?
Page 3, Judge, in cause number 2023, DCV 0071, Dickinson Wright PLLC et al. Versus Dell Greenhall DMD et al. Announcement of council, please.
Your Honor, my
Morning.
name is Adam Walton. I'm appearing for plaintiff Dickinson Wright. We actually have an order of dismissal entered in this case, was signed on April 24th. I'm not sure why that didn't make it through the docketing system, but I think we're all good here, and there's nothing else from plaintiff.
I do see, yeah, I agree with you. I know we've had a lot of issues with our Odyssey system and just everything internet that has to do with county recently. So maybe that's it, but I don't see it actually an order signed. I see a motion.
Yes, Your Honor. I have a signed order here. It was signed electronically on April 24th, but it is not file stamped. So I don't know if it was maybe just emailed directly to me. Do I need to go back and file that?
If you would, why don't you send it to the my court coordinator? So that's my.hernandez. Email that to her. Like I said, we have had, I mean, seriously bad issues with Odyssey being down multiple days over multiple weeks. So let's just chalk it up to that. If you'll send it over, we'll get it filed and that'll close out the case.
Yes, Your Honor, not a problem. I will send that over to her.
Thank you very much.
Your Honor.
Take care. Yeah, the clerk is telling me she doesn't have it. Okay, that's all we need. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Where is, let's see, are we not expecting Mr. Dickey?
I reached
Mr.
out to their
Little?
office, Judge. I didn't get through. I left a message for them.
Mr. Little, do you know? Is there
Your
somebody
Honor,
not here?
I don't know if we're expecting Mr. Dickey or not, but we've completely settled our case.
Is this the one that had to do with like Mr. Skipworth had a property on the other side of somebody else?
Yes, ma'am. That's absolutely correct, Your Honor. We filed a notice of settlement in our case. I don't know if Mr. Skipworth on the other side has settled their case, but the Arredondos and my client have completely settled our case. We're gonna build a fence. I think fences and bushes make good neighbors. I think that's the standard rule. But yes, Your Honor, we filed the notice of settlement. I
just
know
saw
that we
that.
had a final pretrial. We just, I was just showing up to make sure that the court was fully aware of it.
Appreciate that. Appreciate it. So do we just need maybe a dismissal hearing in 60 days or less? You tell me.
So the deal is, Judge, and I don't know what Mr. Dickey's opinion would be on this. We have 120 days to complete the settlement and build the fence, I think is the timing on it. I don't know if the court would be willing to entertain a setting at about that time just for us to tender the dismissal documents. I don't anticipate a problem, but certainly I don't want, to speak for Mr. Dickey, but he may want to keep it on the docket just to make sure we get it built and he can inform the court, or maybe we need an enforcement. I don't really know, but if we could have that amount of time, I think we'll have all the documents prepared way in advance of then, but just to make sure. And if it's built sooner, we'll submit the dismissal documents quicker, I would suspect.
So then let me look at something. Okay, so he signed off on that notice of, okay, beautiful.
Yes, ma'am.
So what we're going to do is we're going to reset the jury trial and docket call so it's not off the trial track, so to speak. Further down the line, we're going to do December 8th and a December 6th docket call.
Your Honor, just from a technical legal standpoint, I don't think that this case can move forward at all. If there's a breach of the actual settlement agreement, they'd have to refile and file on the settlement agreement is what my opinion would be. So I would just request an entry of a dismissal hearing is really all we would need.
Okay, then we'll do that on December 8th.
Perfect.
So Myrna, I guess we only have those two settings, just the July settings. Cancel those and we'll put it down for December. That's it. Thank you, Mr. Little.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I be excused?
You may. Thank you for appearing.
Thank you, Judge.
Who's next?
Judge, top of page 4. In cause number 2023, DCV 0102, Juan Francisco Cárdenas versus Victor Reyes Perez et al. Announcement of counsel, please.
Yes, Dustin Brown here for the plaintiff.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Judge, my understanding that Mr. Malanga has a certificate of vacation.
Right. Oh, okay. All right. So I see this as a status conference. What it looks like to me is that this should have been a scheduling conference. So we need to get a trial setting and a discovery order. Is that what we're looking towards, Mr. Brown?
I'm not sure. We tried to see if that's what we needed to get done before the hearing, and I didn't really get a clear answer. But Mr. Malanga he just filed an answer on the 22nd of May. So the only status other than doing that would be that we're just waiting. We're getting the case started and doing the disclosures phase of this. So we can reach out to him and get some dates and do an ASO as well if that's what's requested.
So what I'm going to treat this as is our scheduling status conference. I'm going to give you a trial date a year out, and looking at the dates that he's out, I mean, he's only out through this week. We have 2 weeks for you all to return it, agreed with an agreed to mediator. So a year out is going to be June 7th, 2024.
Okay,
I will work with you all on those dates if for either of you, there is an issue. June 5th, 2024 will be your docket call. There's a final civil pretrial 30 days before that. And the day before that final civil pretrial is your mediation deadline. Please confer with Mr. Malanga about an agreed to mediator and include that on the order as well. That way we're not delaying anymore. I mean, it already gives me a little bit of a headache to think that we're scheduling in June of 2024. So I don't want to, put you back a week just to know that we'll be 2 weeks further down in terms of scheduling. So what you will see in terms of a setting is from today, there will be a setting in 2 weeks, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, entry of scheduling order. If you all have already agreed, signed off, put your mediator on there and returned the order to the court, then we just get your slate of dates. Okay.
and we still appear even if it's submitted.
If it's submitted, you do not have to appear.
Okay,
Okay. If there's any issues, by all means, let us know and we can come back. But I'm just going to go ahead and set that out.
okay, perfect. Thank you, Judge.
All righty. Thank you very much. Who's next?
Going back to Mr. Gutierrez on page 1, Judge.
What happened? Let me ask. On page 1, I feel like the 2913, has that one been taken care of?
I have it down here as dismissed, Judge.
Okay.
There's a dismissal on that, Judge.
All righty. Next.
In cause number 2022 DCV 1479 JP Morgan Chase Bank NA versus Joel A. Cisneros. Now, announcement of council, please.
Benjamin Joseph Gutierrez on behalf of the plaintiff.
All right. What did you find out, Mr. Gutierrez?
So I tried various numbers, waited for an email, talked to different people. My inkling is that the notice was likely not sent because in the files that for the people that looked, they could not find it. And I'm waiting on to hear back from other people, but for purposes of this court, and I appreciate the fact that the court even gave me a second try at this on the same docket. I do not have that notice for you, Your Honor.
You're going to be reset in 2 weeks at 10 a.m. So that is June 21st for a default and a DWAP. All righty.
Understood. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you very much.
You have a good